City streets cover ground which at one time absorbed nearly all of the rain that fell upon it. Traditional, impervious surfaces such as concrete and asphalt won't allow water or pollutants to filter through the soil below. New surfaces like permeable or pervious pavements slow and clean stormwater before it reaches our streams.
Chris Bachtel, Vice President of Collections and Facilities at the Morton Arboretum. Our mission is to collect and study trees from all over the world, display them in a beautiful landscape setting for people to enjoy and how they can grow in the outdoor environments of Chicago. Our first experience was Pervious Surfaces was developing the Visitor Center large-scale development in 2004, and it's a 500-car parking lot with 13 bus parking, and we just couldn't imagine it being right with that being a black asphalt, heated, large space. So that's what really got us interested. The permeable surfaces were just coming into vogue at that time, and so we went in full stride with this one. Well, what we've done, the very first one was a large-scale parking lot, like I said, and it's kind of a standard. It was a Unilock brand brick that we've used. We put in a drainage profile, and it's just standard, follows a lot of the standard procedures. Because it was so new, we had to design the bioswales and the curb cuts as if the parking lot was asphalted, and it still could work as a drainage system. Now, regulations have eased since that point because there's more confidence from the permitting agencies and things like this and the county agencies with that. So now we've got a number of samples of pedestrian walkways that are in various different brands, all the same principles of water going around the edges. But the key is putting it in a drainage profile so the water can be either slowly captured down below and then drain off slowly. We have one that's innovative. It's a recycled glass pavement. And we've had some tests, we've had some replacement of it, and now it seems to be working much better than the initial installation. We have another one that's recycled granite from granite countertops. 30% of a slab is waste. This contractor, she breaks the scrap into 6x9 blocks. Then you put the shiny side, the buff side down so it's not slippery. Again, we put that in a drainage profile, and that's a very attractive one. And then the last one we have, which we just put in this year in 2012, was one that's made of 30% fly ash with a polymer that's compressed, no baking involved, so it's got a very small carbon footprint because it doesn't use a kiln to bake the bricks. These terms actually get mixed around, but one you can call permeable, and that is actually the water bleeds kind of through it. And we have permeable concrete and these glass where it goes through this. The others are pervious that are going on the edges of a solid brick and the core. So, but the core, the idea is that you're getting the water to go through lots of surface area of gravels that have edges, that have some bacteria, that clean the water. But for urban streams, particularly the first one, is just cooling. A large asphalt parking lot, you can have fish kills because of the heat of the water coming off at 100 degrees into a water system. Where these, by the surface area, cools them, oxygenates them as they move through these things, and then goes into a stream that's much cleaner, cooler, and should be oxygenated. The installation cost versus, let's say, a permeable system, and this is a generic answer with these things, versus an asphalt system, you'll see probably a third to 50% increase of the installation cost. There's no doubt about that. But putting in a detention system at all, because let's say you have this impervious system, you have to put that cost against the cost of the pavement. The other is, you're going to have to grind and reseal asphalt in 5 to 8 years. If it's built correctly, and that's the key, your maintenance costs are minimal through that. So it's really very key that you build a foundation so they're more sustainable and long-lasting. There are some cases where you can actually, and I have a permeable system at my home, and I've got, unique for our area, but I've got sandy soil. So you can break down into your base course, compacted like gravels, maybe bank run gravel. Then you have a drainage course. You have a finer course that the bricks actually sit on, but it's still clean without fines, so it drains through. If it's built well, you're not getting the frost heaving. If it's installed then level, you can sweep it, you can plow it. These are high compression concrete pavers in most cases that are laid flat. They're not moving. Throughout the institution, we're a green organization, and I think I'd say we're not radical in that regard, but we make common sense choices of what can be done for a place of our scale and the number of people we have and things like that. And we continue on. Each year we make continued improvements in sustainability and keep notching it up what we're trying to do.